Hi guys, so welcome to my first trace video. Yeah, I've got some line here. I've got a 0.6 fluorocarbon line here. Then I've got 0.65 maxima ultra green line. And then I've got cheap, let me just call it cheap line, 0.4 thickness that I will be using for my sinker trace line. And you can use either one of these depending on what you prefer. This I'll be using for my hook line, to make my hook line with. Fluorocarbon, it's a little bit stiffer, so it gives a better presentation on your baits mostly, and the fish don't see it as easily, or that's what they tell us. So yeah, the ultra green is also a nice stiff line. It's high abrasion, so it holds up to reefy areas and stuff much better than most lines. So yeah, basically I'll be using my scissors here, and here I've got a 6.0 Gamakatsu hook with a tilted eye. I'll show you now how to snoot this hook. Then I've got a 3.0. You can use it whichever rating your rod is rated at. I prefer to use a size 3 or 4 ounce bottle sinker between the bricks, and then I use these anti-tangle swivels. Yeah, it doesn't always work as nicely. Depends. If the water is very rough, it also tangles up, depending on what setup you have. So yeah, let me start. I normally do my sinker line first. So this is a setup for catching carp on the Strand reef area. And yeah, you do lose a lot of sinkers there. So it's important for you to always see that your sinker line is weaker than your hook line. Otherwise, when you get a fish on and you get stuck, you lose everything. You lose your hook snoot and your sinker and the fish. So you want preferably your sinker to break off. So what I normally do is I've got this from a few. I've got these trace tips and stuff from a few guys, namely Jandre and Keegan Matthijs. So I use 25 centimeter roundabout for my sinker line, and that's just to keep it short so it doesn't get stuck in the bricks. I normally use a uni knot. Just pull your line like this, then you fold it over and around, and then I do 5 or 6 turns through the inside. Then you just wet it and you pull it tight, and then you pull it down and you cinch it. Trim off the excess line here. This I find is a very nice knot, and it's quick and easy to do. It's strong as well. So there I've got my sinker line. Then I cut off about a 30, you can use between 30 and 35 centimeter of hook trace, depending on how how the water conditions are. If the water conditions are a little bit rough and murky and whatever, then you don't need to go as long. You can go 30, 25 centimeters even, and make your sinker line even shorter, because the fish will feed much less fussy than they would in clear, calm water. So what I'm doing here, let me just rewind here. What I'm doing here, I'm putting through my my hook line from the front of the hook. Then I'm giving myself a nice piece here at the back. Then I twist around. Now I normally go about 6 times, and then you come through with the tag end. You come through from the back, and then you pull it tight, and it all sets in there. Then what I do is I cut off this tag end here. Now what's important here with this tag end, what I found a lot of times is my bait sticks to this tag end, so it prevents me from sliding my bait up over my eye. So what you can do is you use some ghost cotton. I've learned this from a friend of mine, Gershwin. So you cotton that point down there, so it doesn't give as much resistance when sliding your bait through. Okay, so there's my hook trace and my sinker line done. So on the swivel, you'll see there's a long end, then there's a short end and a longer end. The long end, that attaches to your main line, or your leader line, whichever you want to call it. The small one here at the bottom, this is your sinker, where you connect your sinker line to. And this one here is where you connect your hook line to. So normally on Strand Reefs, I use one of these floats. As you can see, it's a little egg float, nice and bright. So I put that through before I tie my hook to my swivel. So the reason for this float is mostly to keep it off the rocks, to give the bait a little bit more of a presentation. It'll give your bait a much more lively look. And once again, yeah, I'm doing the uni knot. Yeah, so it'll give your bait a more lively look, and it'll keep it away from the crabs, especially because they tend to clean your hook. And yeah, that's never nice. So they take it into the crevices of the rocks, and that obviously prevents you from giving a nice presentation to the fish, and the fish miss your bait or they can't get to it, and then obviously you won't get any fish. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm gonna tie my sinker line, also with a uni knot. So what you can do with a sinker line is, if you have too thick of a line, which can happen on the reefs when you go unprepared, and a lot of times you forget some things to take with you on the reefs, because on the reefs you have to be mobile, you have to have everything on your waist. So you have to be very well prepared. You've got your sinkers and your hooks and your swivels on your waist, plus your bait. I normally prefer to cut my bait from the beach. So my chocker strips, I'll do in the length of the chocker, I'll cut centimeter wide strips throughout, all the way through the chocker, and that I'll put into my bait bucket on the side of my hip, and that just makes everything easier. I don't use cotton. I tend to think if the fish are thick, they take your bait. So a lot of guys do fancy presentations and stuff on the reefs. Yeah, it's nice if you are properly rigged and everything, but yeah, I can be a bit lazy sometimes, so I just cut the strips, and it has been working for me. If the fish are there, they take. So yeah, this is the basic trays that I use. I've caught a few carp on this. You can play with the length of your hook line. Like I said, depending on the water conditions, and your sinker line can even be shorter. It just improves your chances of not getting stuck when you've got a fish on. So yeah, I hope you guys find this helpful, and please click like and subscribe, and you can put on the notifications for the new videos of mine, which I'll probably be doing a new video on next weekend. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.